Still?
Good morning still. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can. Are we coming through okay?
Yes, thank you. Let's see. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ricardo Villegas, file number 23-00846FY, appearance for the record, counsel.
I'll let you all the way up.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant for the purposes of arraignment only while he appears separately from the Lansing Police Department.
Thank you. Mr. Villegas, how are you?
Good, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Today's the date and the time set for an arraignment. I have here a felony complaint that alleges that on or about May 19, 2022, at the area of 4801 Duvernay, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly, contrary to the law, commit the act in count 1 of robbery armed. The allegations is that you did, in the course of committing a larceny of money, purse, use force, or violence against a person present, that person being Ileana Zamora, and in the course of that conduct possessed a gun, which is a dangerous weapon contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.529. That's a felony. The maximum penalty is life and or any term of years. Count 2 is weapons felony firearm. The allegations are that you did carry or have in your possession a firearm, that being a handgun, at the time that you allegedly committed or attempted to commit the felony of armed robbery, contrary to MCL 750.227B. That's a felony. The maximum penalty is 2 years consecutively with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction. Mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device is required under the law. There is a count 3 of domestic violence, alleges that you did make an assault and battery upon Ileana Zamora, an individual with whom you had a dating relationship, and that this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.812. That's a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, and restitution may be ordered as this offense may have resulted in damage to another individual's property or physical injury or death to another individual. There's a second notice offense. It says take notice that the defendant was previously convicted of assaulting and battering his or her spouse, former spouse, an individual with whom he or she had a dating relationship, an individual with whom he or she had a child in common, or a resident or former resident of his or her household, or of knowingly assaulting a pregnant individual by violating Michigan Compiled Law 750.812 on or about June 20th, 2019, and therefore upon conviction will be subject to an enhanced sentence under MCL 750.814 that will enhance the domestic violence to a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 1 year and or $1,000 in fines. Again, a consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, and restitution may be ordered as this offense may have resulted in damage to another individual's property, physical injury, or death. Mr. Villegas, do you understand the charges in counts 1, 2, and 3, as well as the maximum penalty that's attached to each charge?
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Okay, you have the right to be represented by counsel. Ms. Donnelly is here for the purposes of your arraignment only. You have the right to have an attorney to represent you at each stage of the criminal prosecution, and if you cannot afford to hire an attorney to represent you, you can make a request to have the public defender's office appointed at the expense of the public. Do you understand your right to counsel in this matter, correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is he making a request, Ms. Donnelly?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Villegas, you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. You have the right in this matter to proceed to a preliminary examination, and you have the right to have that examination within 21 days of your arraignment date, that being today's date, unless the court finds good cause to go beyond that 21-day timeline, or if you waive the 21-day timeline. At the time of your examination, you have the right to have the prosecution meet their burden, which is to establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with the crime. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your right to preliminary examination applies as to counts 1 and 2 because those are the felony files, okay? Your misdemeanor, you do not have a right to a preliminary exam. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to a trial. In each of these matters, you have a right to a jury trial, and at the time of trial, you enjoy the presumption of innocence. So you have the right to be considered innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to have the prosecutor bring sufficient evidence at trial to prove each element of each of the charges being brought against you. They have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt at trial before you can be guilty. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to confront, see, hear, or question or cross-examine any of the witnesses that the prosecution intends to call at trial. You have the right to call your own witnesses to trial or present evidence that you believe would further defense to the charges being brought against you. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have the right to be considered for pretrial release from custody? And we'll address your bond in just a moment. Do you have any questions so far?
No, ma'am. No, Your Honor.
Okay. You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute for the purposes of his arraignment as he entered a not guilty plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Villegas, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
Where are you employed?
Roofing. I just started Friday with them. I was supposed to start my full week this week.
What's it called?
James and J Roofing.
What's your home address?
I live with my girlfriend out in Bath. This is 13556 Main Street, Bath, Michigan, 48808.
What's your phone number?
517-902-7225.
You're currently scheduled.
I'm sorry.
You're currently scheduled for a probable cause conference April 27, 2023 at 9:30 in the morning before Judge Stacia Buchanan. Your probable cause conference can be held via Zoom or you can appear in person for that. She's located in courtroom 2 of the court. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get a copy of the notice to appear for that date as well as Zoom instructions for a courtroom?
Yes, ma'am. Both of them right here in my hand. Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Your preliminary examination is scheduled before Judge Buchanan. That's currently scheduled May 4th, 2023 at 10:30 in the morning. Your preliminary examination will be held in person at the court. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, is there an apartment number at the 13556 Main Street?
Apartment B. B is in boy.
Thank you. And you say you stay there with your girlfriend?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and your girlfriend's not the alleged victim in this matter, correct?
No, no, ma'am.
Okay,
No, Your Honor.
counsel, you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Villegas has reported that he is from Lansing. He has his mom here as well as he has three children, 2 of which he has parenting time with. He also, his girlfriend is expecting. Also, the last time he reports he was in trouble was when his probation for domestic violence was revoked in 2020. He reports no felony convictions. He does have some other warrants, I believe, for traffic and child support matters. So that he'll have to also take care of those. But otherwise, as he already stated, he just started a job. And he lives with his girlfriend. So I don't believe that he would have any reason to go against a no contact order or whatever the court would entail, including a tether. I believe that he would be safe in the community with those conditions, Your Honor. I also don't believe that he has a flight risk. He didn't know about this warrant. Otherwise, I believe that he would have tried to take care of it, Your Honor. So for those reasons, we'd be just asking for an appropriate bond based on the fact that he just started working. Hopefully he would still retain that job if he were to be on bond. I don't believe that he has any other means of fleeing the jurisdiction, Your Honor, or being a danger. Thank you.
Why was his probation revoked?
Mm,
Who were you on probation before? Do you remember?
Yes, ma'am. I was on for domestic violence. But it was revoked. I forgot, ma'am, to be honest with you.
He was really, I think he didn't complete the treatment.
Yeah, I didn't go to none of my drops or classes. But I met up with my probation officer and talked to him whenever he called. So the only thing I didn't do was go to my classes or take my drug test, Your Honor.
The aggravated assault, I think. Okay. These are some pretty serious allegations. It looks like you were previously on probation before Judge Alderson, but it was converted to Judge Ward. Nonetheless, count one in this matter is a robbery armed, which is a felony, maximum penalty life for any terms of years. And there's a domestic violence allegation here, also an allegation of the use of a dangerous weapon. So these are some serious charges. With that being said, I think that the risk to the public and or to the victim can be mitigated with a GPS tether. Bond will be set in the matter of 12,000 personal recognizance with GPS tether and victim notification. You're not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever Ileana Zamora lives, works, or goes to school. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not to have contact directly or indirectly with Ileana Zamora. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand what indirect contact would include?
Nobody has, like, me telling somebody else to contact her. Correct? Yes,
Exactly.
yes, ma'am.
Or
Yes.
using another mechanism to do that. You can't send a letter, you can't contact her through instant messenger. You can't have third-party contact unless you have a court order for that. And right now, there is no court order, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, while out on bond, you're not to use, purchase, or possess drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're not to engage in any assaultive behavior. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release. You'll be reporting to them weekly, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions at this time about your bond condition?
No, ma'am. Did you say it's a PR bond?
I did
I
say
didn't-
that.
Okay, yes, ma'am, then. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. You're all set, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. I have another file for you. People of the city of Lansing versus Ricardo Villegas. This is file number 21L2683061. You owe $30 on this matter. You've owed that since 2021. Are you paying that today?
I can figure I can make a call after here and try to get it paid. But I just started working, so I won't have no money till Friday.
You won't have any money till Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
Down note here, you'll make payment by Friday.
And I just pay that here downtown.
Yep,
Your
you'll
Honor?
come up to the, yes, you can come up to the 6th floor and you'll make payment at the criminal traffic window, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Rosa, you were all set in room 2 and room 4?
Room 2 was not paying attention to her phone, but I can try to go back in there.
I just tried to bring her back, maybe she's checked out. And then Ms. Till is meeting with someone. When they're available, I can slide you into that room.
Excellent. So legal aid is still available.
Correct. Ms. Till is in room 1.
There's Eula Jackson would like to meet with legal aid.
Okay, we'll message Ms. Till.
Excellent.
Thank
Thank you.
Please send Ms. Till a message for me, please. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Bobby Harris.
Mr. Harris.
File number 23-01243FY.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant for the purpose of arraignment only while they appear separately from Lansing Police Department. Moment.
Mr. Harris may not be available at this time.
Madam Chair, Madam Chair, ma'am. I'm right here, sorry.
Okay, Mr. Harris, you can hear us
Yes.
clearly?
Yes,
Okay. Mr. Harris, were you sleeping?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're awake though now and you're alert?
Yes, I am.
Are you under the influence of anything at this time?
No,
Are you sure?
I was over the influence of my pills yesterday, but
Okay,
I don't have them no more.
okay, sounds good. Today was the date and the time that was set for an arraignment, sir. I have a felony warrant here. It alleges that on or about April 18, 2023, at the area of 420 South Grand, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly contrary to law commit the act in count 1 of police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing. The allegation is that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Officer Caitlin Miller, a police officer of the Lansing Police Department that you knew or had reason to know was performing her duties, and that this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.81D1. That's a felony, sir, and the maximum penalty is 2 years and/or $2,000 in fines. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, or under MCL 750.81D6 for another violation arising from the same transaction. There is a count 2 of attempted police officer assaulting, resisting, obstructing. The allegation there is that you did attempt to commit the following listed offense, and in the attempt did act towards the commission of that offense, but failed in the perpetuation or was prevented in the execution thereof. That this was contrary to MCL 750.92. That is, that you allegedly assaulted or attempted to assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Officer Ethan Merlick, a police officer of the Lansing Police Department that the defendant knew or had reason to know was performing his duties, and this was done contrary to MCL 750.81D1. That's a misdemeanor, maximum penalty, 1 year and/or $1,000 in fines. Upon conviction of an attempted felony, the court shall order or may order, it says shall, the court shall order law enforcement to collect DNA identification profiling samples. There's a count 3 of trespassing. It says that you did remain without lawful authority to remain on the lands and premises of the CATA after being notified to depart, therefore by CATA Security, who was the agent or the owner of said land or premises, and that this was done contrary to MCL 750.552. That's a misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 30 days in jail and/or $250 in fines. Sir, do you understand the charges there and the penalties attached to each of the charges?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You have the right to be represented by counsel. Ms. Donnelly from the Public Defender's Office is representing you for the purposes of your arraignment today, but you have the right to have an attorney represent you at each stage of the criminal prosecution, and you have the right to have an attorney represent you if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you cannot afford to hire your own attorney, you can make a request to have the Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you at the expense of the public. Do you understand your right as it relates to representation in court?
Yes, I do.
Okay, is he making a request for court-appointed counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Harris, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty, you have the right to plead not guilty, and you have the right to stand mute. You have the right in this matter to proceed to a preliminary examination because count 1 in this matter is a felony. The time of your preliminary examination, you have the right to have the prosecution establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with that crime. You have the right to have a preliminary examination within 21 days of your arraignment date. That's today's date. And at the time, that date can only be changed if you waive the 21-day timeline or if the court finds good cause to go beyond the 21 days. Do you understand those rights so far, sir?
Say yes. Shook my head yes.
Okay, I need to hear you.
How you gonna know? I just shook my head yes.
Yeah, I can't hear a shake.
Okay, you can see me though.
Here, do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, do you understand what I've said to you so far?
Said yes. Over and over
Okay, thank you.
again.
Use your words. We're off the record. Our computer is shut down. Give me just a moment.
Said give her a minute.
I did say that. I mean, I just said hello. Y'all can stay out of my court. I'll sit back down to your own thing. I just talked to my.
Settle down, Mr. Harris.
They just said something to me. I said something back.
I
I'm
said
running
settle
back.
down.
Always telling me to settle down. They doing they thing by getting them into my business.
Stretch.
Okay, we're back on the record. Okay, now, Mr. Harris, you have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter. You have the right to a jury trial at the time of trial. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until the prosecution can prove you guilty. You have the right to have them prove each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. You understand those rights?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you have the right to see, hear, or question any other witnesses the prosecution intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence at trial that you believe would further a defense to these charges. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to be considered for pretrial release from custody. We'll address your bond in just a moment. But do you have any questions about your rights at this time?
No, I don't.
Do you have a home address, sir?
I did, but I don't know if it's still working out. So,
You don't know if it's
no.
still working out? Where were you staying?
I was staying at the Mission.
Okay, the one at 607 East Michigan?
Right over there in Kalamazoo Mall.
Okay. Do you have a phone?
No, I don't.
Okay. Are you currently on probation?
I'm not. I think I'm not. No, I'm not on probation no more.
Okay. For the purposes of his arraignment, is he pleading not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, one moment. Ms. Till, can I put you and Ms. Jackson in a private meeting room?
You can, Your Honor. Thank you.
You and Jackson. I'll put her in room 1.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We're currently scheduled for probable cause conference before Judge Tony Flores. It's going to be April 27th at 9 o'clock in the morning. That can be via Zoom or in person, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you have a preliminary examination before Judge Flores Thursday, May 4th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Did you get a copy of notice to appear for those dates?
Yes, I did. They're right here.
Oh, okay. And your preliminary examination will be held in person at the court.
Okay.
We'll address your bond in just a moment. I have the people of the city of Lansing versus Bobby Harris, file number 23-01042. And then I have the people of the city of Lansing versus Bobby Harris, file number 23-00778. Both of these matters, sir, you have a warrant, bench warrant on both because you failed to appear for your court date. You were scheduled to be before Judge Flores on April 17th on both of those matters, and you failed to appear. Did you forget that you had court?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, on file number ending in 778, that would have been
Excuse
the
me.
second time.
Can I say
Your Honor,
something?
he did report that
I
he
did-
has
I did
seizures
not
and he was in the
forget,
hospital
But
on
I
Monday.
did have a seizure, yes. I did not forget, but I did have a seizure, so I went straight to, they took me straight to the hospital right then and there. And I just tried to get back to y'all when I got out the hospital. Yes,
You were in the hospital, so you were in the hospital on the 17th?
yes,
Okay, and so you also failed to appear on file number 778 back in March. So that would have been the second time you failed to appear on that file.
yeah.
When did you get released from the hospital, sir?
I got released on 17th, yeah,
On the same day?
yes.
Okay, why didn't
So
you contact the
did.
court then?
I did go to the courts, but it was early, not early, but late. And they said it was over, it was all over. I remember going to the last point of
Okay,
it,
you spoke to someone at the courts, they said it was all over,
yes.
and they didn't give you a new court date?
No, they did not.
Oh,
I think they told me, but I did not remember that either, yes.
gotcha. You can address bond counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Harris reports that he's essentially living on the streets. And that he has some health problems. He does also have other dates with court just as soon as he has pretrial conferences on Monday. So given those, Your Honor, those circumstances, he's also not working or receiving Social Security at this time. We would just be asking for an appropriate bond based on his circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you. Bond and file number ending in 778 will be set at $100 cash surety. Bond and file number 23-01042 will be set at $100 cash surety. Bond and file number 23-01245 will be set in the amount of $500 cash surety. While out on bond, sir, you need to make sure you appear to all your future court dates. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to use any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're not to travel outside the state without approval of the court. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. And you need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release from custody on that. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any questions today?
I do not.
Okay, you're all set. Thank you.
Thank you. Hermie, thank you.
No problem. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Christopher Miguel Brooks, file number 19-05025 FY. Council appearance.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant for the purposes of arraignment only while he appears separately from the Lansing Police Department.
Thank you. And you are Mr. Christopher Brooks?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Brooks, today's the date and the time set for an arraignment. I have a felony complaint here. The allegation is that you did on or about October 16, 2019 at 114 West Fairfield, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, commit the act in count 1. of assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation. The allegations is that you did make an assault upon an Ashley Brooks by strangulation or suffocation, that this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.84. That's a felony, and the maximum penalty is 10 years in prison and or $5,000 in fines. DNA is to be taken upon arrest, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. There's a count 2 of domestic violence. The allegation is that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon an Ashley Brooks, an individual with whom you had a child in common, or a resident or former resident of your household, or your spouse, or an individual with whom you had a dating relationship, that this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.812. Restitution may be ordered as this offense may have resulted in damage to another individual's property or physical injury or death to another individual. This is a misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. You understand the charges, sir, and the maximum penalty attached to each of the charge.
Yes.
You have the right to be represented by counsel. Ms. Donnelly is representing you today for the purposes of your arraignment only. But you have the right to have an attorney with you to represent you at each stage of the criminal prosecution, or if you're questioned by law enforcement. You have the right to make a request for the public defender's office to represent you at the expense of the public if you cannot afford to hire your own attorney. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Is he making a request for public defense representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Brooks, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. You have the right in this matter to proceed to a preliminary examination because you're being charged with a felony in count 1. You have the right to have a preliminary examination within 21 days of your arraignment date. So that's 21 days from today's date. That date and timeline cannot be moved unless you waive the 21 days or the court finds good cause to go beyond that timeline. At the time of the preliminary examination, you have the right to have the prosecution meet their burden, which is to establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with the crime. Do you understand your right so far?
Yes.
You have the right in this matter to proceed to a trial. You have the right to jury trial. And at the time of jury trial, you enjoyed the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent, sir, until the people can prove you guilty. You have the right to have the prosecution prove each element of the charges being brought against you. They have to prove each element at trial beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to cross-examine, confront, or question any of the witnesses that the prosecution intends to call at trial. You have the right to call your own witnesses to a trial or present evidence that you believe would further defense to these charges. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. Do you understand each of those rights so far?
Yes.
Okay. And then you have the right to be considered for pretrial release from custody. We'll address your bond in a moment. Do you have any questions at this time?
No. I do actually. I was, we got kids together, and when she
Well, we'll
goes
just
to work-
address, we'll address that in a moment. Just any
Okay.
questions about your rights and stuff.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
You're
Okay.
good.
Oh, sounds good. Okay. Are you employed, sir?
Yes.
Where are you employed?
MSU,
What do you do there?
HVAC preventative maintenance.
What's your home address?
114 West Fairfield Avenue.
Is that the address of Ashley Brooks?
Yes.
Okay, where do you intend to stay during the pendency of this matter?
1631 Greencrest,
16,
31 Greencrest.
Greencrest. Is that in Lansing?
East Lansing.
Whose address is that, sir?
My sister.
Okay. What's your phone number?
517-215-6650.
For the purposes of his arraignment, is he pleading not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Sir, you're currently scheduled for probable cause conference before Judge Cynthia Ward, Friday, April 28th, 2023 at 9 o'clock in the morning. That can be via Zoom or you can appear in person. You have a preliminary examination that's scheduled for Friday, May 5th, 2023 at 8:30 in the morning. Your preliminary examination will be held in person at the court. You understand that?
Yes,
You got a notice to appear
yes,
and you have Zoom instructions, correct?
yes,
Are you currently on probation or parole?
no,
You can address bond counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Brooks reports that he is from the Detroit area, though he does have family in Lansing. He has been working for MSU for 5 years. He also reports that he has, as already stated, he still lives in the home with his wife, with the alleged victim, for the last almost over 3 years. They have 4 children in the home, ages 11, 8, 7, and 4. Typically, she works during the day from 6 to 2 o'clock at Dunkin' Donuts, and he works at night at MSU. So he takes care of the children during the day while she's at work. But other than that, Your Honor, I don't believe I don't believe he is a flight risk, and I don't believe he's a danger. He reports he doesn't have a criminal history. And he has provided an address for a sister here in Lansing. So for those reasons, I would be requesting a personal recognizance bond. Also, if there's anything that could be done for taking care of the children during the week, I understand that courts usually they can't be even at the home while the person's not there, but at the very least, be requesting at least the third party to communicate and try to work out a solution to for the children, Your Honor. But other than that, again, just requesting a personal recognizance bond. Thank you.
Okay, I don't see anything on his criminal history. I also want to note, I had to review the affidavit of probable cause. This is an incident allegedly having occurred in 2019. So quite some time ago. And I see that obviously the parties are still residing with each other. There's been no other action involving law enforcement noted on the criminal history. I even have concerns about the issuance of the charge, to be honest, by reading the affidavit of probable cause, but I didn't read the police report, so I'll leave that to the defense counsel. With that being stated, I don't think that there is a threat to the victim or to the public safety. Bond will be set in the amount of $2,000 personal recognizance. I will allow a peaceful contact with Ashley Brooks. And that's for the purposes of the child care. While out on bond, sir, we have the following conditions. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to use, purchase, or possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You're not to leave the state without prior approval of the court. You need to make sure you appear to all of your court dates, okay, sir?
Yes.
You need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release. You're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you have any questions at this time about your bond conditions?
How much is my bond?
It's
Oh,
a
okay.
personal recognizance, so you don't have to pay anything to get out, okay, sir?
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions, sir?
No, let me know.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. You're all set, sir. Ms. Till, I think that's all we have until this afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll see you this afternoon.
Thank you. Okay. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan. This is Shanice Glasgow, file number 23-01244 SM, counsel appearance.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant for the purpose of removal only while she appears separately from the Lansing Police Department.
You're Shanice Glasgow.
Yes, I am.
It's the date and the time that's set for arraignment. I have a misdemeanor complaint here. It alleges that on or about April 18, 2023, at the area of 914 West Kavanaugh, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly commit the act in count 1 of domestic violence. The allegation is that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon an Eric Dawson, an individual with whom you have a dating relationship, and that this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.812. This is a misdemeanor with a maximum penalty of 93 days in jail and or a fine of $500. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Restitution may be ordered as well as this assault may have resulted in damage to another individual's property or physical injury or death. Do you understand the charge and the maximum penalty, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you have the right to be represented by counsel. Ms. Donnelly is here to represent you for your arraignment only. You have the right to have an attorney with you to represent you at each stage of the criminal prosecution. And you have the right to have an attorney represent you if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can make a request to have the public defender's office appointed to represent you at the expense of the public. Do you understand your right to counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is she requesting court-appointed counsel, Ms. Donnelly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you have the right, Ms. Glasgow, to remain silent. Anything that you say and anything that you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. You have the right in this matter to proceed to a trial, and you have the right to a jury trial. At the time of trial, ma'am, you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until the people can prove you guilty. You have the right to have the prosecution prove each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. Do you understand your rights so far?
Yes, I do.
You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to confront any of the prosecution's witnesses. You have the right to see, hear, or question any of them in court, and you have the right to call your own witnesses to trial or present evidence at trial that you believe would further defense to the charge being brought against you. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about any of your rights so far?
No, I don't.
Okay, is she entering a not guilty plea for today?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Glasgow, are you employed?
Yes, I am.
Where are you employed?
Wendy's and Ultimates.
What's your home address?
41 Glenburn Boulevard.
You said 4341?
Yep, 4341 Glenburn Boulevard.
Okay, that's in Lansing.
Yes, Lansing.
What's your phone number?
517-328-0992.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
No, I'm not.
Okay, you're currently scheduled for a pretrial conference before Judge Stacia Buchanan. It's gonna be Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023 at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, at 11 o'clock in the morning. Did you get a copy of that notice to appear?
Yes, I have a copy.
Okay. Very good. Council, you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. As Ms. Glasgow's already stated, she is working at Wendy's. She's had a full-time job there for 2 months now. She reports she lives on her own as a single mother with a 4-year-old son. So she is not living with the alleged victim in this case, has no problem with a no contact order. She does report having a limited criminal history. The last time I believe she said she was in trouble was back in 2020. But other than that, Your Honor, they do receive Medicaid, food assistance, housing, childcare assistance. I do believe that she has enough ties to the area where I don't believe she's a flight risk. And I do believe that the standard no contact order should suffice to ensure the peace of the public. So for those reasons, we're requesting a personal recognizance bond. Thank you.
The court will grant the request for personal recognizance bond. Bond is going to be set at $500 personal recognizance. Ms. Glasgow, you need to appear to court for all of your court dates to remain compliant with your bond conditions. You also have a no contact order in place for the protection of the alleged victim, so you're not to have contact directly or indirectly with Eric Dawson. Do you understand that?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You have to be within 1,500 feet of wherever Eric Dawson lives, works, or goes to school. You're not to engage in any assaulted or threatening behavior. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or drugs unless you have a valid prescription. Do you understand all of the bond conditions that I just read off to you?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any questions about those conditions?
No, I don't.
Okay. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Glasgow, you're all set for today.
Thank you.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Demetrius Lashad Jackson, file number 23-00950FY. Counsel appearance.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant, Demetrius Jackson, for the purpose of arraignment only while he appears separately from the Lansing Police Department.
Okay, today's the date and time, Mr. Jackson, for a arraignment. Let's see. I have a felony complaint that alleges that on or about November 13, 2021, at 1731 Herbert, City of Lansing, Lincoln County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly, contrary to law, commit the act in count 1 of kidnapping. The allegations that you did knowingly restrain a Rachel Cavazos with the intent to engage in criminal sexual penetration or criminal sexual contact with that person. And this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.349. There's a sex offender Registration Act notice. It says this is a tier 3 offense under the Sex Offender Registration Act if the victim is a minor. That's under MCL 28.72252. That's a felony, sir. The maximum penalty is life or any term of years and or $50,000 in fines, and your DNA is to be taken upon arrest. There's a count 2 of criminal sexual conduct in the 3rd degree, force or coercion. The allegation is that you did engage in sexual penetration to wit digital finger vaginal with Rachel Cavazos using force or coercion to accomplish the sexual penetration, and that this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.520D1B. There's a Sex Offender Registration Act notice that says this is a tier 3 offense under the Sex Offender Registration Act. MCL 28.72254. It says, take notice, there's an HIV STD testing notification. Pursuant to Michigan Compiled Law 333.5129, upon bind over to the circuit court or recorder's court, the district court judge shall order the defendant to be tested for sexually transmitted infection, hepatitis B infection, and for presence of HIV or any antibody to HIV. If the judge determines there is reason to believe the violation involved sexual penetration or exposure to a bodily fluid of the defendant. If the district judge determines the testing is not required upon conviction, the court must order the defendant to be tested. The felony, this is the felony, maximum penalty 15 years in prison, and mandatory AIDS STD testing is required, and DNA is to be taken upon arrest. Do you understand the charges in counts 1 and count 2 is a maximum penalty, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have the right to be represented by counsel. Ms. Donnelly is representing you today for the purposes of your arraignment only, but you have the right to have an attorney with you to represent you at each stage of the criminal prosecution, and you have the right to have an attorney represent you if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can make a request to have the public defender's office appointed at the expense of the public. Do you understand your right to counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is he requesting public defender office for
Yes.
representation? Okay. Okay, Mr. Jackson, you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say, anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty. You have the right to plead not guilty, and you have the right to stand mute. You have the right to proceed to a preliminary examination in this matter. You have the right to have that examination within 21 days of your arraignment day. That's today's date. At the time of examination, you have the right to have the prosecution meet their burden, which is to establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with that crime. Your 21-day timeline can only be extended if you waive the 21 days or if the court finds good cause to go beyond that 21 days for your preliminary examination. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you have the right to have a trial in this matter, and you have the right to jury trial. At the time of jury trial, you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you enjoy the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. You have the right to have the prosecution put forth enough evidence to prove each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt at trial before you are deemed to be guilty. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You have the right to confront, question, or cross-examine any other witnesses the prosecution intends to call against you at trial. You have the right to call your own witnesses to trial or present evidence that you believe would further defense to this charge. You have the right to be considered for pretrial release from custody. We'll address your bond in just a moment.
Your Honor, I would like to say something.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Demetrius Jackson Sr. This case with these 2 charges and 1 more charge.
Mr. Jackson, I don't want you to go on record and say anything that what can be used against you later, even if I know what you're saying is truth, but we can't.
I would like to say it is not going to.
Yes, but today it suffices to say you just tell the court that you're pleading not guilty.
Yes, but I would like to say something that's very important. So, ma'am, this charge was thrown out. of court on
Mr. Jackson, if you can, I will address that when we get to bond, okay?
I
can
know,
address
but
it
I
right
wanna
now.
let her-
I have an order of acquittal, dismissal, or remand that was signed by Judge Buchanan back on December 2nd, 2021. It says
Yes, I'm
that the
innocent.
case was dismissed without prejudice.
Yes, ma'am,
You
I'm
know what-
innocent.
Do you know what without prejudice means?
I thought without prejudice, my attorney told me that this case would never be brought back against me.
Well, yeah, you thought wrong, and I doubt that that's what your attorney said. And that's why I always explain in my court what without prejudice means, because it means that they can bring the case back against you, okay?
Yes, ma'am, and I just wanted to let the judge know that I'm fully cooperative with the prosecutor to bring this case to justice. I'm completely innocent. I'm willing to take a lie detector test. I'm willing to take a urinalysis test, a blood test, whatever is necessary. I turned myself in when I found out that they reissued this warrant. I'm working with CMH. I have a caseworker at CMH that helped me to set up a time to come in and turn myself in. My caseworker is named Mike. And I'm fully cooperative. I've never missed a court date in my life. I've been to court plenty of times with the district court, and I am not running from nothing. I'll be to court early on time. But this charge, along with 2 other charges, took my employment from me, and I've been unemployed ever since these charges came about. But they just reissued a warrant the day I was released from the Ingham County Jail on March the 21st. A warrant was issued the next day I was released from jail for a misdemeanor, and I did time served. So I didn't know about this warrant till just recently, but I came down here and I turned myself in because I want to take care of this, and prove my innocence and get this over with. I'm fully cooperative to any questioning, any lie detector test, whatever you need. I'm innocent. The person that you're looking for, I know who it is.
Okay, all right, Mr. Jackson, thank you. No, we'll finish with that. That's good, though. Thank you.
Okay, the court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. You're currently scheduled for probable cause conference before Judge Cynthia Ward, Friday, April 28, 2023 at 9 o'clock in the morning. That can be via Zoom, or you can appear in person, okay?
I'll appear in person, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. There's a preliminary examination scheduled before Judge Ward. That'll be in person at the court Friday, May 5th, 2023 at 8:30 in the morning. Did you get a notice to appear for her courtroom with those dates?
I have the dates 4/28/23 at 9 o'clock, and I have Friday, 5/5/23 at 8:30. I'll be there early.
Give me just a moment. Sir, you said you had other matters that were pending?
No more matters are pending. I
Oh.
was released from Ingham County Jail on March the 21st for a misdemeanor, ma'am. I got time
Gotcha.
served with Judge Buchanan, but the day after I was released at 10 o'clock p.m., this warrant was issued on the 22nd, I believe, of March.
Okay, so
I
you're
didn't
not
know
currently
about
on
it.
probation? You're not currently on probation or parole?
I'm completely free, ma'am. I'm completely free
Okay,
of
very
any
good,
kind of
very
charge.
good.
I'm gonna prove my innocence when I come to court.
Sir. Okay, what's your home address?
I'm using CMH, my caseworker, as my address for mailing purposes. 812 East
No, sir.
Jolly.
No, we're not mailing your court paperwork to CMH.
Okay, I'm staying with my girlfriend, and we're staying at 516 West Saginaw. We're engaged, and I have a newborn son that I'm helping her take care of that was born on March the 9th while I was incarcerated.
Okay.
516 West Saginaw, Your Honor.
Is there an apartment there?
Yes, ma'am, apartment number 12.
What's your girlfriend's name?
Tierra Hardister.
Oh.
We're
South
engaged.
Philly.
We're engaged.
Okay, sounds good. Are you employed, or did you say you lost your job as a result of this
I
charge?
lost two jobs out of 3 jobs. One job is seasonal, it's just through August. I work on campus, delivering college, it's called college combo sales. We deliver products on campus. It's just a seasonal job, twice a year for semesters.
Okay, sounds good.
That's
What's
the
your phone
only
number,
job I
sir?
had, but the other 2 I lost because I was incarcerated. I was working at
Okay.
Michigan State IPF. I was working at Michigan State IPF custodial services, and I was working at O'Reilly Auto Parts doing commercial driving. I lost
Okay,
those 2 jobs.
What's your phone number?
517-214-0931 is my girlfriend's number. I just got a phone at CMH that was mailed to me. I'm just got my Medicaid information, and I'm working on my bridges with my caseworker. It's coming in the mail at their location, but that's my girlfriend's number. I have a phone in my property right now that I just got yesterday. I don't know the number. I just got it yesterday.
Sounds good.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am. Yes,
Sally,
ma'am.
you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. As Mr. Jackson has already stated, he did discover, he said he discovered this warrant when he went to his CMH case manager and turned himself in this morning. He is just getting out of jail after serving, getting 57 days, I believe, time served for assault and battery with Judge Buchanan. That happened before this was alleged to have occurred. I believe he did have some failure to appears. I have to correct, I guess, him on that because he did miss some court cases in that matter. That's why he just recently got sentenced and served time served in March for it. But other than that, Your Honor, I don't believe that he is a flight risk. And he reports that he doesn't even know who the alleged victim is. Given that these are allegations from 2021, I don't believe there's been any further allegations. He doesn't have any other warrants for him, none on bond anywhere else. So if at all possible, like you said, he still needs to get back on his feet. So he did have a cash surety bond that he could not post last time he had this, but before it was dismissed at preliminary exam. So if the court could possibly give him personal recognizance, but if not, just anything that would be appropriate. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Was it dismissed because the witness failed to appear?
That part of it. There was also a possession charge on it that that was also dismissed and not reissued.
Got it. I don't see where he did not miss court on that file though.
No, because he was in
One that's
custody.
Okay, so that's it was the other matters that he just got released on, correct?
Yes.
Well, that doesn't work favorable for you, sir, because we want to ensure that you're going to return to court.
I promise I'll be the court. I turned myself in to take care of this, Your Honor. I got a newborn. I'm not running from anything. I stepped down here. I talked to my caseworker at CMH, let him know that this popped up. We called down to the courts yesterday and said I would turn myself in at 8 o'clock, and I came here at 7:15. I'm not running from anything.
Okay.
I'm here to face this head on. I'm a man. I'm not running from nothing.
I reviewed your prior criminal history. I don't see any assaultive
I'm non-violent, Your Honor.
convictions.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see any assaultive convictions. I am going to grant the request for personal recognizance bond with a no contact order. Your bond will be set in the amount of 2,000 personal recognizance. While out on bond, sir, you're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with a Rachel Cavazos, which sounds like should be easy because it sounds like you don't believe you know her, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here to
Not to be
cooperate fully, 100%, no
You're
problem.
not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever she lives, works, or goes to school. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sure I will get this taken care of and my innocence will be secured.
Okay, thank you. And then
Yes.
you're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior while you're out on bond. You're not to travel outside the state of Michigan unless you get approval from the court before you can leave. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You're not to use any alcohol or drugs unless you have a valid prescription. I'm going to order that you continue engaging with community mental health.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna do that anyways. They're very helpful right now. My caseworker's been helping me out a lot. I'm doing Medicaid card, My Bridges, and I just got a phone.
Okay, sounds good. You need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release. You're going to report to them weekly, okay?
Where are they located?
You should have received information on how you can contact pretrial services. They're over at the circuit court though, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any
I have the
questions?
paperwork right here. No, ma'am.
Okay. Any additional matters for the record today, counsel?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
Same to you.